goodness. Morning, Trainiacs. We've been in a deep freeze over the holidays. Here we are, it's minus 25 Celsius. That's minus 13 Fahrenheit. Something that happened over the holidays was I witnessed a swim coach giving some excellent swimmers advice, but not great advice for triathletes. Totally different. We're gonna get into what happened and why you need some different training as a triathlete than a swimmer. I don't know if we can actually do it in this place because it's the holidays and it's a different pool. I don't know if they'll be cool with me and you in there with the camera. Let's see. This is an interesting little facility here. I could go for a slide. Okay, so what happened that I witnessed over the week of the holidays was this. There's an ex-swimmer, ex-elite swimmer that was helping age group triathletes learn how to swim. And they were saying, like, why are my legs sinking? And what this elite swimmer said, well, okay, here's what you do. Let's see if I can go over there and show you. You stick your head out of the water and you get your heels up to the surface of the water, and just by holding yourself up, you should be able to balance and float on the water even with your head out of the water. That ain't gonna happen for the average triathlon swimmer. No, it can't happen. We don't have the ankle flexibility because we run and beat up our ankles. We don't have the upper body flexibility because most of us are sitting at a desk all day. We're not loose and limber kids that are like as flexible as Gumby. We don't have the body awareness because we didn't grow up with years and years of tens of thousands of yards and meters of swimming. It just isn't gonna happen. Meanwhile, these guys are being told to do some drills and aspects of swim balance that they physically are incapable of doing because that elite swimmer just assumed that because she could do it and all of the elite swimmers around her could do it, age group triathletes could do it. So these guys are going to end up having sinky legs because they can't actually perform the drills until somebody tells them differently. Us age group triathletes, we require a different approach that is actually a fair bit more simple than what you would expect for an elite swimmer. So that makes it easy on us, but you need the right approach. We're gonna talk about that after I do this little, it's a water run. It's not much to it. Just a 36-minute kind of high zone 2 run. I like saltwater pools, I'll tell you that. So even just as I was doing the showing what that other coach was doing, I had a hard time doing it. I'll explain why it's so hard for us to do what actual swimmers do back home. I got talked to about the camera, rightfully so. Jumpin' Jehoosaphat, it is cold out there, Trainiacs. Okay, so swimming. There is a lot of info out there about triathlon swimming. Why? Because it's probably the hardest thing that most triathletes have to learn when they get into the sport. So that means that every publication out there in the world can just put out swimming this, swimming that, swimming this, and people will gobble it up because everyone's looking for the answer for how to swim better. Damn thing is that all of this information tends to confuse people because there's so much out there. And you'll see articles that are like the 9 steps of the perfect triathlon swim catch. Like 9 steps? 9 steps of something that takes a half a second? How is anyone going to remember 9 things when they're doing that? And there's waves crashing around them and there's 2,000 of their closest friends around them. It isn't that hard. Why are there 9 steps? Well, there's 9 steps because when you start getting into the elite aspect of swimming, a speed swimmer in high school, college swimmers, Olympians, there are all of these little nuances that are going to make the difference between winning and being 1/100th of a second behind and not winning a race. So you have to have every aspect of those 9 steps correct. We're triathletes, however. We don't need to be Olympians and worry about 100ths of a second over a 50-meter length. We just need to get the basics right, and by getting the basics right, that alone puts us miles ahead of most triathletes out there. So let's talk about what those basics are. I think I gotta stand for this. Okay, so if you've listened to Jerry Rodriguez, Tower 26, you know about tautness, alignment, propulsion. It's what his swim coaching platform is based off of, hence it's what my swim coaching platform on Team Trainiac is completely based off of. And the concept is that you need to be taut, aligned, and have good propulsion, and everything beyond that is minutia that is not going to make a huge difference to you as a triathlon swimmer. Tautness, are you firm in the water? Are you stiff or are you wiggly and moving around? Think about trying to push a 3,000-pound log across the surface of the water. Very quick, right? Now think about trying to push a half-pound pool noodle across the water. Very wiggly, very slow, right? So we want to build into our body the ability to be tight, like that log. Boom, nice and stiff, not wiggling side to side, not flexing up and down, not kicking really big and loose and wiggly. How you do that is I have 8 drills that I've recommended to the virtual camp athletes that take you through a kick progression where you start kicking with fins, a snorkel, and a kickboard, arms extended, head looking straight down at the bottom of the pool, very light kick, feet within a channel that is about 1.5 feet wide, back of the head, butt cheeks, heels at the surface of the water. Graduate out of that to no kickboard, and then no fins. And then you move from that to vertical kicking, and then you move from that to a little bit of side kicking. All along the way, you're getting yourself closer and closer to having that really tight body, but closer and closer to actual swimming. Nice and tight. Alignment. Alignment can be explained like this. If you are trying to swim, but your feet are coming out to the side one way or another, or they are dropping down, or your arms are coming outside of that channel and flailing any which way besides just dead straight. If you're to look at elite youth swimmers as they're swimming from the feet on, it's gonna look like they are just perfectly straight. So we have to build that ability to be nice and aligned, and we do that by a bunch of snorkel, band, pull work, and we make that harder with the band because it tends to kick out our legs. So we make it harder so that we can amplify the counterbalance to that. So we are aware of what being properly aligned is actually like. As far as the hands go, Tower 26, we learn that your hand enters in between the edge of your head, edge of the shoulder in that line, and just goes straight down in that line, not in and then out, not out and around. Hand enters in that line, straight down, boom, push back. Simple as that. When it comes to propulsion, it is as simple as get your hand in that line that we just talked about. Keep the shoulder higher than the elbow, which is higher than the wrist, which is higher than the fingertips. Practice going like this. Don't have to worry about the crazy flexible early vertical forearm, which we can't do because of our upper body. Just get that hand a little bit bent so that we've got some surface to push off of. Keep that hand firm, push back. That's it. So you might be saying, well, Taren, you know, I kind of feel aligned. I feel taut. I think I've got good propulsion. Well, these are the same drills that are done by pro triathletes Rachel McBride, Carrie Lester, Scott DeFilippis, Lionel Sanders, Sarah Piampiano. all of these phenomenal pro triathletes still go through the same program because they don't need to become Olympians, and we all benefit from doing these simple things right over and over and over. Okay, so how do you actually move forward with this? Few things. If you're still at the point of not feeling comfortable in the water, that means you can't yet swim a 400 meter or yard continuous, without stops effort, and without feeling out of breath at the end of it, you need to develop comfort in the water. And for that, go to triathlontaren.com/swim drill program. If you are already able to do that 400 meter or yard test and you want to improve your swimming, Tower 26 is great. Our Team Trainiac platform, which is going to be live, if not when you watch this, but very shortly after, you can go to triathlontaren.com/team waitlist and just be emailed when it is live, because all of our stuff is largely based off of that Tower 26 stuff. So there we go, Trainiacs. If you aren't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button below. If you are subscribed, it's going to be a new 2019. Lots of big things, lots of awesome things with Team Trainiac. Stay tuned for it all. And I gotta start getting this place ready to head out to Lanzarote.